Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to show her some Dabity love as we welcome Dr. Shelly Wilson to present our feature address.
Mr. Derek Levere, Mr. Reza Berg, President of the Trinidad and Tobago Table Tennis Association, Executive of the Dabity Village Council, members of the media, distinguished friends and families of the Dabity Youth Table Tennis Club, good afternoon. And a very special greeting to the guest of honor, Mr. Cecil James, and to members of the James family. It is wonderful to see so many friends here today, a day set aside to pay tribute to our guest of honor, Mr. Cecil James. And it is my honor to give this feature address, which I have titled, To Serve with Love. Many years ago, during a tournament at the GMP complex, someone asked me, "Why do you all call Mr. James Sir?" I cannot remember my exact answer, but today, I hope over the next few minutes, I am able to explain why, for us here at the Dabity Youth Table Tennis Club, Mr. James is not just Mr. James. Mr. James is Sir. Why do we call Mr. James Sir? Of course, on the surface, with Mr. James being a primary school teacher, he was a Sir. He taught at the Dabity Government Primary School for many years. He was, in fact, my Standard 2 teacher. And at that time, there was an inextricable link between the Dabity Government Primary School and the Dabity Youth Table Tennis Club. The school was the main source for young Dabity Youth Table Tennis recruits, and the vacation coaching program during the July-August holidays was the starting point for most of our table tennis careers. So in addition to letting the Dabity primary school pupils know about the course, Sir would walk the length and breadth of Dabity, handing out flyers, advertising the vacation training program. He would walk all along the Eastern Main Road, through Beckon Park, Reed Lane, Johns Lane, Boys Lane, Mahabia Lane, Recreation Ground Road, Mausika Road, and further west, meeting children, parents, and guardians. And you could see the results of the recruitment. Streams of youngsters in sneakers heading to the center, clutching to their first table tennis rackets. For those who did not have rackets, Sir had a set of rackets for use. It was during these vacation training programs that we learned the basics, honing our hand-eye coordination skills, bouncing the ball on our rackets, hitting the ball against the wall, serving, and finally, the telltale hallmark of a Dabity Youth player, the art of rallying. But sometimes, for a beginner, the most difficult task to master was actually getting a handle on what seemed like such a tiny, slippery ball. How many of us could remember Sir calling us Butterfingers? And at the end of the program, there was a participation certificate prepared by Sir. In getting ready for today, I went through old family albums, and sure enough, there were our certificates. One read, Dabity Youth Table Tennis Club Vacation Coaching Course Participation Certificate. This certifies that Sharon Wilson, my sister, participated in the Vacation Table Tennis Coaching Course held at the Dabity Community Center from 12 July to 6 August 1982, and is qualified to receive this certificate based on attendance at the training sessions. Age group 10 to 13, and she got a grade A. There was a key: A, very good; B, good; and C, fair. Signed by our course supervisor, Mr. Cecil James. And this vacation program was repeated every year. So you see, we call him Sir because he provided a solid foundation. He taught us, and I dare say us being hundreds of youngsters, the fundamentals of our sport. He taught us discipline in our approach, and he taught us practice makes perfect. And he created a safe place for us to spend hours and hours. Why do we call Mr. James Sir? Once we completed the vacation training program, the highlight of the table tennis year for Dabadi youths was the age group table tennis tournament. In my era, it was the Canning's age group table tennis tournament. It has now evolved into the Charles Candy ping pong tournament and so forth. In our heyday, it would be 2 big maxis leaving Dabadi and heading to the playing venue. With such a big contingent of players, sometimes parents and supporters led by Sir, when we arrived, everybody knew Dabadi reached. Whilst the table tennis tournament was important, and I'll get back to that, the camaraderie and team spirit were equally as important, as Sir fostered these, from the maxi taxi rides together, to the sandwiches and other snacks we shared, to the sweet, sweet orange juice we would drink from his cooler. In terms of the actual tournament, Sir would congratulate us when we won and commiserate with us when we lost. Sir would encourage us to take in the matches, watch the matches, and sometimes that encouragement needed to take the form of a buff, especially when our main focus was not what was happening on the table tennis table, but on running up and down the Jean steps. So yes, the Dabadi Youth Table Tennis Club can boast of a number of junior and senior national players, national champions, and Caribbean champions. And I have to identify some that I'm seeing here today. So of course, we have to talk about Mr. Lionel Darkeye. We have a number of national players. So there's Linda Partap, Linda James, Catherine James, Michael Nanton. I'm making sure I'm not missing anybody. So we call Mr. James Sir because he taught us the importance of being gracious. Gracious in victory and equally gracious in defeat. Why do we call Mr. James Sir? There was a time when the Dabadi Government Primary School was in dire need of repairs. A number of classes were relocated to right here in the Dabadi Community Center. So imagine desks, benches, blackboards, cupboards, all occupying the space. What does this mean for the Dabadi Youth Table Tennis Club? If classrooms were located in the center, where would we practice? How would we train and prepare for our tournaments? Well, every Friday after school, Mr. James Sir would stack all of the benches against the walls, move aside the cupboards and the blackboards, and set up the table tennis boards in time to coach the youngsters in the afternoon and for us to practice. And on a Sunday, Sir would go through the process in reverse and reassemble the classroom configurations. And do you remember when this center was under repairs? Sir did the same thing. He organized for us to practice in Dabadi Government Primary School and would clear classrooms for us to practice and afterwards reassemble the classrooms for school. And Sir did this without fail, and oftentimes he did it all by himself. So recall Mr. James Sir, because he taught us by his actions dedicated, selfless service. So you see, the contribution made by Mr. James, made by Sir, extends way beyond him being the founder of the W Youth Table Tennis Club. It extends beyond his roles as president of the club, manager, secretary, treasurer, PRO, head coach, and oftentimes sponsor of the club. His lasting contribution is that of a mentor, a father figure, and a friend, where he taught us by not only his words, but by his actions. So going back to the title, To Serve with Love. This title is of course taken from the movie starring Sidney Poitier. And I wish to paraphrase some lyrics from the theme song. How do you thank someone who has taught you so much? A friend who taught us right from wrong and weak from strong. That's a lot to learn. What can we give you in return? To thank Sir and to show our appreciation, I think what we must do, we must be our best, we must do our best, and we must give our best. So, to Mr. James, to Sir, thank you, and we love you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wilson. And what she did fail to mention is that she's also a former national player as well as a Caribbean Women's Teams champion. So give her a round of applause.